Welcome to Raise High here at George Washington. Coach Caputo, how's practice vibe going? We've had a couple of tough games. That's okay. The toughest part of the schedule is kind of behind you. Talk about the vibe. We got so many topics with Carl Elliott. We got Loyola Chicago at noon today. Lots of things to talk about, but I want to talk about what's going on in practice.
No, we've had a couple great practices. Had a little bit of time off. Was able to, sometimes when that happens, you go away from the preparation for the opponent and back into yourself. Like, what can we do better after this stretch of games? What do we need to work on? What tweaks could we make to?
Let me ask you about that week off. You have some guys. I know they're older, Garrett. I know June's older and playing well, but this is their first year. And Trey and Jacoy, was that week off a good for them? Was that good for them?
Yeah, no. As I've said, I think everything that our young players are going through is really a first. Winning streak. It's your first winning streak. Losing streak. First losing. How do you handle all those things? Hopefully, will serve well for them in their future.
You are in the A10 right now. Dayton is a nationally ranked team. The top four teams get a bye. You're like a game out of moving up and 2 games out of the double bye, which is 1 through 4. Do you bring that up and tell the players that? Do you talk about like where we are and what's not that? Okay, we lost a couple, we won. How do you manage that?
No, I think the next game is always the most important game. You really can't do anything about the past or the future. You got to live in the perfect present. Your opportunity to play well in the next game is really the most important thing. Usually, the rest of the things they'll take care of itself if you concern yourself with the next thing right in front of you.
We got Loyola Chicago in an hour, so if you're watching this, run over to the Smith Center because it's a fantastic opportunity. Otherwise, we're on Monumental TV. Then you do have Mason, who you beat before. Then you get Richmond coming back here. You have a stretch now. At least the travel's pretty good. 2 home, 1 away, not too far away at Mason. I know it's 1 game at a time, but like when you beat a team like Mason, what do you do? And then when you lose to a team like Richmond, talk about your strategy there.
Yeah, I mean, no matter what happens between the time you play them and when you play them again, the first thing you're going to do is go to your game, right? Obviously, that's going to be the best indicator of, hey, what we did well, what we need to do better. And then obviously you're still paying attention to what they're doing in between because, maybe they're changing something. Maybe there's a difference in what they're doing on offense and defense, or maybe there's a particular rotation in terms of their lineup that might change. But, certainly the most valuable film is the film of your game, especially in league play. You're not going back to November. It's usually a week or so or 2 weeks behind. So that's going to be the most valuable tape for the players. Plus, as you know, Jimmy, the players like watching themselves more than they like watching anybody else.
Wins.
So, yeah.
Which we beat Mason and Richmond up 12, good first half. They're playing well.
Great game, yeah.
Sort of the past and the future all at once. Zach Bouvier was over with Danya to watch Utah play for the Phoenix Suns. Then you have Carl Elliott coming in. We'll do the past first before we get to Ty Bevins, our new recruit from Gwynn Park, who's coming. But Zach goes over to see Utah. Carl Elliott, Hall of Famer, coming here. He's at the game today. Talk about what that means to you as a new coach, but knowing so much about how you love that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just so important that we continue to foster, a respect of the history of the program. In this program, again, starting with Red Auerbach and Coach Talent and, Coach Jarvis's years. And then obviously in more recent time, guys like Carl and Yuta who really represent the university, not only very well here in D.C., but also on the national stage in the NCAA tournament, which is ultimately our goal. So, excited to have Carl back. I remember him from playing at Worcester Academy and then being here and being on those great teams for Coach Hobbs in the mid-2000s.
Yeah, so he went in the Hall of Fame last night, which is really important. And he's had a nice stretch of a run there in the NBA. He's like a veteran that's went from New Jersey, Toronto, now he's with the Suns, who could make a big playoff run with Durant. That's exciting for the team now to see that that's where you can go to. Yeah. Ty Bevins is the future. Played for Coach Gardner at Gwynn Park, Swiss Army knife, Cap Classic. Talk about him.
Yeah, basketball family. His mom played in college. Dad's a coach. Loves the game. He's got good positional size, 6'5", 6'6", can shoot, can put the ball on the floor, makes great decisions. I think he is a Swiss Army knife, really could do a number of different things, and has really good positional size. The other thing is he's a young player. He's one of these guys that's 17 his whole senior year. He doesn't turn 18 till I think early April. So a lot of times those are the guys that can make a big jump in college as they're younger. May take them a while, but again, you can see a big jump from those guys when they're in college.
No, and that's rare these days because the transfer portal, and we have Garrett, you know, we have June from the transfer portal, and Max, and all these different players that come through. Then there's Jacoy, who's more of a traditional freshman. When you know how much I love Jacoy and all the little things he does. So taking a young guy in a transfer, and I don't want to get into your recruiting philosophy, but it's going to be rare that you take many freshmen in the future. It's just the way college basketball is.
You want to balance. You want to make sure that people understand this is a place that young players can develop and flourish and get opportunities. And obviously having the Rookie of the Year last year and probably going to wind up having the Rookie of the Year this year, or maybe co-Rookies of the Year.
How about that?
And obviously the minutes that the younger players are getting, you do want to present that your program is one that's going to do a great job in the development of young players. Now that being said, you also want that transfer portal work in your favor to supplement your roster and to get older.
Well, we also have a new president here. President Granberg's coming
Excited.
in an interview. Yes, UC Davis grad, went to Rochester Institute of Technology. Her tenure here has been fantastic. You know why? Because she comes to games and she loves you. We'll be right back at Raise High here at GW.
Security. It's something we all want. Something we need to feel safe. It's everywhere we go. It's in everything we do. But the idea of safety can be overwhelming. How do you secure what you can't see? How do you secure your future? For 80 years, WAEPA's group term life insurance has helped provide financial safety, security, and peace of mind to current and former civilian federal employees. To learn more, visit WAEPA.org.
All right, welcome back to Raise High at GW. We're honored to have the 19th president of the George Washington University, Ellen Granberg here. President Granberg, thanks so much for being here.
Oh, it's great to be here, Chris. Thanks for the invitation.
Well, we've taken over the show again,
Yeah.
so we have our own guests, so we decided to bring you in.
Perfect.
So obviously, you spent a lot of time at Clemson.
Yeah.
Tell me about that experience and how athletics sort of shaped that experience for you, how you view athletics based on that.
So a lot of what I saw at Clemson that really inspired me was the way in which success on the field just activated the entire community. It wasn't just the students that were excited. The faculty was excited. The staff was excited. The whole community pulled together as a result of it. And it not only brought excitement to campus, it also changed the kinds of students who applied. Right. It changed the kind of faculty who wanted to come and work. I mean, it really showed me that when athletics excels, it has the capability to raise the entire institution.
Sure. And now at GW, the Atlantic 10 is viewed as a basketball-centric conference.
Yeah.
How have you been able to assess that in your time here?
So I've spent some time with the A10 and, of course, lots of time with our players here on campus. And I think in this day and age, being in a basketball conference is ideal because it is a place where you can have tremendous competition. You can have a higher level of safety than you might have on a football field. And so I'm really pleased to be in the A10. I will also say it's a fiercely competitive place.
Sure.
There are great schools, including GW in the conference. And so it really means something to excel in the A10.
Yeah. How about, you've been in many games,
Mm-hmm.
Home and road, you've been in a road game, a great road win last year at St. Bonaventure. But when you're here and you're seeing our students in the student section create that great environment, what do you see there?
Oh yeah, I mean, I see the passion. I see the excitement. I see the sense of possibility, and I always come in and I always scan to see, okay, how big's the crowd? How many students in George's Army? Where's the band? And you can just feel it when they get going, when they're excited. They bring the entire crowd with them, and it creates that effervescence that people love so much about being in a basketball arena.
And not just the student. Obviously, our students have done so well, and we continue to grow that into the thousands every game. But how about just the DC community, our GW community? Obviously, a venue right in the middle of town here could potentially create a great opportunity for GW to draw people in.
No question about it. And I've seen it happen even this semester with more of our friends coming back, seeing the Tin Tabernacle, our fan club, get bigger and bigger with each game. I think that people are waiting for us to break through that next level. And then we're going to see yet another group come in. But people from the neighborhood are coming, so that potential is really there.
Well, that's what we think about every day.
Yeah.
There's not a day that goes by that our staff is not thinking about how to do that.
Yep.
You know, it's
Yeah.
it's exciting for us because we've seen a little bit of it, and it's
Yeah.
been special, and we can take it to a whole other level. Now, are you working during the games, or are you watching the games? I know people are probably coming up to you and talking to you.
Yeah. So I'm watching the games, and I am terrible being on my iPhone all the time, but I have so much fun watching our team that I wait till the timeout, and then if you watch me, that timeout comes and my phone's right out, and I'll get a little work done and then put it away. People let me watch the game.
Yeah,
they
that's
they
good.
let us enjoy the game, and that's been fantastic. Lots of work pre and during halftime meeting with people.
Sure.
So it's a good combination.
How about a message to, you know, the friends of the university, our alums, our students, faculty, staff? I mean, we have so many people
Yeah.
that work here, the people
Yeah.
in the medical school. Like, what message can we send to them in terms of the opportunity here to build a community?
Oh, absolutely. It's a great question. So I think the message is first and foremost, these are amazing young people and they deserve our support. And if you come out, you're going to have a fantastic time at the game. And then you're going to be a part of building this broader community, this sense of excitement, this sense of togetherness. And athletics is one of the most powerful ways to achieve that, especially in a metropolitan campus where there's lots of other things to do in DC. But it's happening here and you can feel it. And so my message is come out and experience it with us.
All right, you heard the boss.
Yeah.
I mean, she wants you to come out. We need you in the building. All right, last one. This is a little bit off script. You want to do home and home with UC Davis?
Oh, I'd love to.
We have to stay in Napa.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
I don't want to stay in the courtyard in Davis. We can stay in Napa.
Yeah,
We'll go out
you
there.
need an out-of-town venue. Absolutely. It's a small college town, definitely an out-of-town venue. So I know their chancellor, and he is a fabulous guy, and I think he'd love it.
All right, great. And up next, we're going to Coach Lee, who's mic'd up for practice. Hear what he has to say to our student athletes as he's coaching them and driving them to be the best they can be.
Gas prices got you fuming? No need to get heated. Save time and money with Metro. Ride, save, explore. Metro.
I gotta outdo Baba. I gotta outdo Baba. Stop trolling, bro. I know. Yeah. Stop trolling. Stop trolling. Name one Biggie Small song. He can't even name that. Look. Go ahead. Go, name one. Name one. Huh? Look, see? See? Just, I lost a lot of respect for Trey. He told me Biggie Small was trash. I lost a lot of respect for him. Yeah. Lost a lot of respect for him. I asked him that question last week. He said, who's that? He said, who's Andre 3000? Yeah, him and Big Boy. Come on, Max. Damn, man. You like Bone Thugs? JB's a real music fan. Real music fan. JB's the only real music fan on the scene. Let's go, let's go. Catch and face. Two hands, two hands, two hands with that catch. Call out names, Christian. Here we go. Let's go, Amir. Deny these dudes, Amir. Deny him, Trace. Deny him, Trace. Hands, activity. Stick hand. Here we go. Good. Hands, deflections. Good, JB. Jump to the ball. Whip it. Good wall. Way to blow it up, Max. Way to blow it up, Max. Nail, JB. 2 feet. Hey, but don't drive to the sideline, right? Drive to score, right? Face the rim. Put your head on the rim. Oh, yeah, Trey. Oh, yeah, Trey. We did knock her down. Bang, bang, Max. Stick. Here we go. Guard your yard. Guard your yard. Come on, pursue it. Pursue it. Stick, Benny. Don't hesitate, Christian. Just switch up. Switch up. You called it. Do it. Trying to get behind you. All right, so we got to be in gap. You got to be careful. You got to fight the vision off the ball. Watch stretch. Activity. You got to be anticipating stuff. If you're not ready to anticipate in these back cuts, you can kick them, you can deflect them, but you got to be ready. You got to be active. You got to be engaged. Hey, you got to make sure you're getting to his body. That ball went to Keegan, and you kind of jumped into that gap right there, right? We're jumping to his body here because he's going to back cut. I guarantee you, all right? 80% of the time, these dudes are back cutting at 45. Hey, stretch, first things first, you got to be ready to guard him. So if he's looking at this action, that's one thing. If he starts to do this, you got to come up out and play. You got to play him, okay? You know what I'm saying? That's why it's important you call it out. That's why it's important in timeouts. We all know what's going on. We got to be on the same page defensively. As soon as it goes in, you're yelling it. Twan's going. All right, big hands, blue, blue, blue. We can all be, June, you can be calling it, right? So that triggers our backside. Benny, don't get caught as the nail defender too low. All right, you want to be above that foul line. Anything to the rim is Jacoy's, all right? Yep, boom. Just pass him off right here. All right, Jacoy's got it. Good. Not bad. Here we go. Run the second one. Run the second one. Trey, you're not leaving that area, right? You're not going all the way down the lane line, okay? Here we go. Go. Elbow to elbow. Elbow to elbow.
Go. Go. Energy. Here we go.
How many you owe me? Ooh-wee. Yes, sir. I'm gonna get strong today, baby. 15. Let's get strong today.
Before you upload this video, you gotta do your research on my boy, man.
Let him know.
St. Anthony's. St. Anthony's.
You didn't know that. You didn't know that a few
St.
months
Anthony's
ago.
legend. He
Let him
coached
know.
in the A10. No, he destroyed the A10. Undefeated. St. Joe's. He averaged about 10 a game, and scoring wasn't even his thing, man. All defensive team.
Let him know.
So do your research on my boy.
10, 12, 14, 15. Yes, sir. You get some dimes today? I owe you 5.
No, it's
Stretch blue one?
we got fouled.
Okay, they don't count.
And I think I hit G. I hit G.
You got it. Assist. Garrett?
G. First three.
Garrett, you sure?
G.
Garrett, Max get an assist to you? Did he dime you for a basket? Did Max dime you for a basket today? Yeah. I don't know. I'll give you 5. I'll give you 5. Oh. No, he's doing his own. He's doing his own push-ups for his turnovers. GW fans, alum, Georgia's Army. Appreciate you guys tuning in. All right, see you back at Smith Center soon. Peace.
Raise high. This isn't just our battle cry. It's our call, our challenge. Because when you were called to Washington, you were called to higher expectations, to a higher standard. We are called here to advance knowledge, to serve society, to change the world. This is the George Washington University, and what we make is history. So stand up, be bold, take risks, press on, push harder, raise high.
Welcome back to Raise High at GW. We're wrapping it up here with women's basketball head coach Caroline McCombs. Coach, good to see you again.
Thanks. Good to see you too.
How you been?
All right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Hanging in there. It's
Absolutely.
February and conference play, so everybody's got stuff going on. And we want to talk sort of just how this season, it's a play here, a quarter there. You guys are trying to put 40 minutes together, and you're always emphasizing to pound the stone and looking forward. So what has the messaging been to your team when you're right there more often than not?
Yeah, obviously we've hit some adversity this season and just continuing to find a way. I think that's the great part about life and basketball. You go through tough times, and how you work through those things together is really important. So focusing on us and how we can be better. Yes, absolutely putting 4 quarters together is really important on the basketball court, but just learning and growing from this experience right now.
When you talk about focusing on us, what are some examples of that where you're looking at trying to improve specific examples of the team?
Yeah, I mean, just a complete understanding of what we're trying to do, you know, just executing our defensive game plan, you know, for 4 quarters. Offensively, you know, getting in the gym and what do our shots look like and how can we score, you know, on offense. And so just really that repetition and getting our players in individually to do a lot of those things.
This may be an undervalued thing, but you talk about putting 4 quarters together. It is a drastic difference, believe it or not, with a 2-minute timeout, that a new quarter can completely change a mindset. Is that something you feel on the court where the second quarter is completely different than the first?
Sure, absolutely. I do love 4 quarters, of basketball and how that's transitioned. But yeah, I mean, every time you get a chance to sit down and reset and you can come back out, with a new mindset. That's why your bench is so important when you have those opportunities to talk to the people that are in the game, that they're locked in to those changes that you're making.
Yeah, and I've been impressed just with your even keel ability when things are not necessarily going the way you would like to, but do you ever just want to let out a scream in the middle of a game or just like need to get a tee on purpose or something like that? Does that ever pop into your head?
Yeah, I've thought about it a few times, this year. Obviously, the officials make the calls.
Yeah.
They're all human. If we're getting bumped off of our cuts and things that don't allow us to be as successful, that can be, very frustrating. I think that we try to do those things in practice so we can have a calmer demeanor on the floor in games.
There we go. We don't need to get any tees. We'll keep that away. Keep the fines. President was just here. We don't need to be talking about technical fouls too much. But some positives recently. Nia Locke, we talked to her a couple weeks ago on the show and just got her 1,000th career point. What a story for her. And truly a great accomplishment for her to get over 1,000 points.
Absolutely. Just really proud of her growth and development. She can light it up. We're looking for her to have some more of those moments here in the Smith Center to finish out, her 5th year.
That'd be awesome. Now let's take a look at some national stories because women's basketball is continuing to grow. We talk about it every year, but recently you have Tara Vanderveer at Stanford who broke the all-time wins record. Somebody that's been there for almost 40 years and just continues to pump it out. That's got to be sort of an inspiration for somebody in your profession.
Yeah, absolutely. I have a unique experience just having coached against her back in 2008 when I was an assistant at the University of Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
Our team went to the Sweet 16, and so we beat Wyoming. We upset 3rd seed Baylor to play at Stanford. So having that experience, she's a first-class person. That was a great atmosphere, great game, and so just respect for being there, having coached against her. Now, obviously, seeing the platform that she's been on for years and years and the success that she's had, we all aspire to be that great.
And the consistency, year after year, she's always one of the top teams in the Pac-12, which is, or I don't know where they're going. The ACC next year, they'll be able to come to the East Coast a little bit more, which will be pretty cool. But also nationally, the Caitlin Clark phenomenon is insane. You're seeing tickets go for $500,000 at road venues, selling out Iowa, selling out Northwestern, selling out Maryland. What has she meant to the women's basketball community at large?
Yeah, it's just been so fun to watch her play, to watch Iowa women's basketball grow that way. Little young girls are dreaming about being Caitlin Clark, and she's setting a great example for what that looks like. Crowds are coming out. It's fun for her, for her team, and for the opponents.
Yeah, you're seeing parents have to go to these games, and it's inspiring the next generation. It's only going to help moving forward, just what she's doing.
Absolutely. There's nothing like it. She's put in the work. She deserves a lot of credit for, the growth of women's basketball as well.
Yeah, I think she just hit another 3 from near the half-court line at Maryland or something like that. But coming up, you got a month to go. A10 is coming up here. Is there 1 or 2 things you want to see improve for your team as we look down the stretch here?
Yeah, I mean, it's February, right? And so a lot of good teams coming in here, a lot of opportunities for us. I want us to get to 60. We can put the ball in the basket at a higher level than we are. I know we can do that, continuing to grow in our defensive game planning as well. So, yeah, I think our players are hungry. They want more. They want some change, and we have to be able to make those changes.
Got to be playing your best basketball in March. That's what they always say. We look forward to seeing it down the stretch here, Coach.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right, that does it for this episode of Race High at GW. For all of us here in Foggy Bottom, we'll talk to you next time.
Security. It's something we all want. Something we need to feel safe. It's everywhere we go. It's in everything we do. But the idea of safety can be overwhelming. How do you secure what you can't see? How do you secure your future? For 80 years, WAEPA's group term life insurance has helped provide financial safety, security, and peace of mind to current and former civilian federal employees. To learn more, visit WAEPA.org.
Make your trip monumental. Sightsee through DC without overspending on gas and ride shares. Experience DC the local way. Ride, save, explore. Metro.